Welcome aboard, everybody. Sports Talk Nation. Michael Cohen here with you. A quick update to the video that I posted last night, which was before the Max Scherzer suspension was levied and before he made a decision on whether to accept it or not. Well, he has now since accepted that suspension. He will serve the 10-game suspension issued by Major League Baseball for having illegal foreign substance on his hand. Let's just take a quick listen in.
I got suspended today, 10 games. I went to the appeal process, looked at what that appeal process is going to look like. I thought I was going to get in front of a neutral arbitrator, but I wasn't. It was going to be through MLB. So given that process, it wasn't going to come out on top, given that. The best thing for the Mets, I'm going to follow what the Mets wanted me to do, and that was to accept the suspension and come to a settlement with that. I came in a settlement with MLB on what the fine should be and move forward in that. So that's the best thing for the Mets at this point in time. Starts tonight. Yeah.
So as you hear it, best thing for the Mets at this point in time, as he was talking with the Mets, also realizing that there was a good chance, had he taken it fully to appeal, he may not have won that case, and it would have certainly belabored the points. So in a way, just get it over with. It's a 10-game suspension. It's going to be only, 1-2 starts, perhaps tops, for that matter, that he's going to miss, and he'll be back, you'd imagine, in a couple of weeks when the Mets get ready to take on the Atlanta Braves, and that's obviously the more important series that's coming up for the Mets anyway, is that big series against the team that's in first place in the National League East, and you want to have your ace on the hill when that series does come to pass. So Scherzer, instead of paying a $10,000 fine, negotiated down to a $5,000 fine. He accepts the penalty, as I just said, and we move on. One thing that he did say that was interesting is that he would like to see some kind of modification of the rule. Obviously, this was part of the Garrett Cole rule when he got caught with the spider tack on his hands, and that was baseball's way to put an end to the spider tack and also put an end to the increase in spin rates that have been going on with many pitchers in Major League Baseball. And Scherzer, again, defending himself, saying that all he had on his hand was rosin. He wasn't doing anything illegal. He wasn't trying to increase his spin rate at any which way, and that his focus was primarily on was trying to, pitch a clean game for that matter. So he understands the situation. I'm glad cooler heads have prevailed and we can just move on from this and not have this hang over Scherzer and hang over the Mets for a period of time. Now, as I said, things kind of stink right now for the Mets starting rotation. Obviously, with no Scherzer here for the next week and a half, Verlander still on his way back. Hopefully, be back by the start of May, coming back from his underarm injury. Obviously, Jose Quintana we won't see for a while. Carlos Carrasco, we won't see him again for a while. So it's really Kodai Senga and David Peterson, as well as Tyler McGill, Jose Budo. Those guys are going to be trying to nail down things for the starting rotation in term. We'll see if the Mets bring up somebody else. You imagine they probably will, to try to fill that spot vacated by Scherzer for a couple of games. So it's going to be a challenge. Yet this team keeps winning baseball games. They won another game on Thursday night, beating up on the San Francisco Giants 9-4. Pete Alonso, another home run. Eduardo Escobar. I remember I mentioned in my last video, Escobar hadn't been hitting, and that's one reason why the Mets had to bring up Brett Beatty. Well, Escobar decided to get into the action a little bit. He hit a 2-run homer as well for the Mets as they win, going away 9-4. Even Brandon Nimmo, another big night for him. 3 more hits for Brandon Nimmo last night against the San Francisco Giants as the Mets just keep on rolling up W's in this West Coast trip. Very impressive now, 6-1. And 6-1 in this West Coast trip. They've now won 7 of their last 8 as they now stand at 13-7 on the season and still keeping pace, now a game and a half behind Atlanta for first place in the National League East. So Scherzer accepts his suspension. The Mets can move on. Scherzer can move on. And we'll see how things play out over the next couple of weeks here for the Amazons as they end this trip and then return home for what will be a big series against the Washington Nationals. Like and subscribe, folks. We'll talk to you next time right here on the Sports Talk Nation.